Hello guys, welcome back. Tonight we are here with Rusty. Like, hi. He has been crawling all over me. Oh my goodness. And yeah, there you go. Let's see. Yeah, tonight we are going to be playing Batman Arkham Asylum and hopefully finishing up with it. To be very, very fun. I cannot wait. It's going to be exciting. Rusty, do you want to join? Yeah. Here we go. Good boy. Here we go. Oh my goodness. He's gonna be crawling all over us. Oh, okay, yeah. Let's not have you sit on the keyboard. So let's see how this is gonna go tonight. Yeah, I think we have about 2-ish hours left on Batman. It might be less than that actually. I have heard that some people say that it's only like 40 or 30 minutes after I finish Poison Ivy's fight, which should take 10 to 15 minutes. So we might have a lot of time left. We might play some Pokemon afterwards, or we might play some Marvel Rivals after the Pokemon, not too sure. I'll have to see, maybe check in with the gaming group and see if anyone's on tonight. But yeah, I think other than that, we don't have very much going on. Let's see here. Yeah, I think that's it. We woke up to the sound of the snow plows. They were so loud. Oh my god. They were just like scraping the street. And sure, we have some snow, but not enough for a snowplow. Not enough for a snowplow, and he does not like the sound of it. He does not like the sound at all. It freaks him out, which fair freaked me out too. Yeah, hi. Oh, good boy. It's been very, very loving. Hello, thank you so much for the follow. Hello.
John just followed.
I'm like, it's so nice to have like Rusty here to greet people. I do not do ASMR, but I have considered it. I was actually last night, I was really tired and a bit high, and I'm like, oh, I should read books on YouTube. I should just read books. I would love to do that. So I don't know, I might be getting into ASMR. And I do actually have a bunch of like baking soda stuff to do. I just made them up last night. Oh my god, it's gonna be so much fun. I finally got the colors vibrant. I've been waiting so long to get the colors. What is the suggestion? I may take it, may not. Depends. Depends very much. But yeah, I do want to figure out how to actually, get into ASMR, because I get people who ask me like, oh, do you do it and stuff? It'd be really cool. And I'm like, I don't know, I've just never gotten into it. Soft hand clapping? Soft hand clapping ASMR. You know what? Let me look into it. Wait. And that's why we have the giant blackboard behind us. I don't think I've actually heard of the hand clapping ASMR. I haven't like looked into it a lot, but that'll be interesting to look into. So thank you for the suggestion. I'm always terrified when anyone's like, "Can I give you a suggestion?" And I'm like, "Oh God, oh no, I'm scared." But yeah, I will definitely look into that. I was actually thinking of making a second YouTube channel just for ASMR stuff because I figure I'll have one for gaming and one for the ASMR or something. Cause yeah, I actually like it. I have the one ASMR video that I did, just with the baking soda like crumble and stuff. My God, I actually listened to that myself because I'm like, this is so relaxing. This is so nice. And actually, just like filming it, it was so much fun. I was just sitting there like staring at it in my hands, like, ooh, fun, fun things, yay! And now I have all the pretty colors and stuff. Although it was kind of weird, the packet of dye, it came with 3 different dyes, like food coloring. It was red, blue, and pink. I'm like, the fuck? What, like, why would you have pink and red in the same package? Doesn't make sense. A clap for ASMR? I don't know, isn't it just like... No, I don't know what it is. I'll have to look into it. Actually, wait, let me have Google up here. Let me see my Google. ASMR clapping sounds. Ew, ads. No. What is this? Oh! Wait, no, that's not. There we go. Clapping sounds. Oh, that's cool. The cheer clap? Really tight like a hug? Wait. Grasp your hands really tight like a hug, like that? Or, like, okay, oh, my mic doesn't pick it up because I have too many noise blocks on this one. But yeah, interesting. Oh, that's interesting. I might have to actually do that. That sounds nice. That's relaxing. That's really relaxing. Oh my god. No, I'd have to take off all of my noise stuff on this, and I only do that when I'm recording the stuff, which I have a checklist for it, which takes about 15 minutes for me to put it back on afterwards, so you guys don't hear like my squeaky chair and everything. But yeah, I would definitely look into that. I think I do want to start with the like reading and stuff, just because I remember I like actually reading. I mean out loud and stuff. I like doing it. And I definitely like the concept of just being able to sit there and also, I don't know, just share something like that. It seems nice. It seems really, really nice. And maybe it'll relax Rusty. Maybe. I can have him like watching an aquarium on my screen while I'm doing it and just relax me as well. Cause yeah, I do. I just like I've gone about 2 dozen or so people who have asked me if I do ASMR. I feel like when I'm playing Valorant, they're like, your voice is very calming. When you were screaming in my ear earlier, it was very calming before that. And I'm like, thank you, yeah. Before I start screaming, oh my god, there's someone pointing a gun at us, run! And my voice tends to be relaxing. It's just that second part, that gets a little bit scary. But yeah. Oh, Rusty up here. Come on. Come here, Rusty. I'm like, when the kitten doesn't pay me attention, I get sad. I'm the child in this relationship, completely the child. But it's okay. It's okay. Because he's fluffy. The slow clap? Yeah, no, I care about the chair noise a lot, because then when I rewatch it to play like my videos and stuff, it's like I'm like over here twitching, like, oh my god, how do I get it off of it? That's what I hated about my old microphone, that you guys could like hear that. So then when I went back to look for clips and stuff, I could hear it, and it was the most annoying thing ever. It's like, when you have like I've heard of people, when you have a cast and there's an itch inside of it that you can't get with the clothes hanger. Oh my god, it's like that, but it's in my brain. Only if it's loud, and Rusty doesn't really like clapping, so I'd have to film that sometime later. I'll try that off stream when he's not in the room. Because yeah, he does not like claps, Baby doesn't like claps. No one really likes claps or anything. No one likes loud noises in this place, which fair. Yeah, he was freaking out earlier with the snowplow. Poor little one. Poor. I'll try it later. I'll try it off camera. But for now, this is a Batman stream. Once I figure out, oh god, I hope it works. I hope we don't have the same issue that we have with Silent Hill. I'm so terrified of it. Oh yeah, that's right. I have to. How did I get this? Hey, Yeet Master! Oh my god, thank you so much for the subscription. Welcome.
Just subscribed for 4 months.
I need to remember how the hell I got this on my my stream last time. Oh, I changed the settings to not be full screen, and then I exited out and went back to it. I remember now. Have you ever started the slow clap? I don't think so, because I don't like making noise. That's my biggest thing. Like, I could never make any noise. It freaks me out. Okay, why is that? I don't want Marvel Rivals. Oh, Batman. There we go. NVIDIA. Yeah, I have never, started making noise if I didn't have to. It's like I'm that kind of person. Someone tried to get me to scream, and it was like, ah! That was it. That was it. And they're like, really? I'm like, yeah, yeah. Okay, I want to quit, and then I want to re-enter it. God, I can't wait until we get like a 2014 game where I can actually change it to just not exit out a full screen whenever I'm doing this. Whenever I'm switching tabs. There we go, I got it. Let's take a look here. Okay, I'm like, what's up, Rusty? What are you chewing on? He's like, what did you just chew on? He looks guilty, guys. He looks really guilty. Let me see your war face. Eh. That's me. Oh, except if I'm playing Marvel Rivals, then I'm kind of terrifying. Oh my god. Like yesterday, I got so many good teams. I was so thankful for that. But oh my god, the days before, it was horrible. It's like when you play Marvel Rivals at about 3 or 4 a.m. EST, you get bad people on there. You get fucked up people. It's like, I'm reporting at least 1 or 2 people each game, and the other team is like, hey, can you guys report this one? He's been, saying, like, calling us racial slurs the entire time, and we're like, yep, reported about 20 times, here we go. It's like, god damn. And I'm like, I can't play at that time anymore. It's crazy. Let me see, continue, we'll get this up and ready. Rusty, do you want to play Batman? You want to see Poison Ivy? Ah. God, there was a sound on there. That was crazy. Okay, let's see if we can get this ready without crashing it. That's wonderful. Arkham Asylum. Batman, no, I don't want to return to Arkham Asylum. Arkham Knight, Arkham City, Arkham Asylum. There we go. There's a lot of Arkham Asylum games, apparently. So let's see. I will turn off our stream music so we can focus on the amazing game that is Batman. Batman. Here we go. Hello, Batpack. Yeah, we're playing, Elden Ring, but Batman. Batman. Let's see. Sound. Properties. Batman. Batman. I just have to keep saying Batman. Don't worry, guys. Eventually it'll work. Okay. Oh, that's loud. That's very loud. That's very loud. Okay, there we go. Night Rain, but Batman, essentially. I mean, honestly. Oh, that's... like... why is this not working? There we go. Okay. Okay, we got it.
Like what I've done with
I just want to meet Poison Ivy. Can I meet Poison Ivy in Elden Ring in every single game that I play? Grappling hooks, wall climbing, throwing knives. Oh my god, it's like Assassin's Creed as well. Wait, what did she say? What do I do? I have completely forgotten all of the controls as well, so this will be interesting. What do we do here? What did she say to me? Did we fuck up somehow already? Oh wait, what was that? That was... oh, climb. There we go. Oh, nope. Where was it? It was right there. And that's the wrong place. What the hell? I'm so confused. How did we get this? How do we do this wrong? I've been in the game for about 5 seconds and I don't know what to do. Babies are growing something. Oh, her babies are growing. Maybe do we... no, not that. What if we just use this on all the plants? I know, I'm so mean. Does that do anything? No, it does not. Oh, maybe... ooh, maybe we have to get that plant. Oh? Perhaps? Oh, interesting. Oh! I went the wrong way! Okay, never mind, that's not gonna work. Something, something, her babies, da-da-da. Don't know. Are we gonna have to look at the guide already? We find another way in, maybe. Okay, wait, let's look at her quest. Stop poison ivy from destroying the island. Okay. I will do that once I figure out how the hell to get past that giant plant. What if we punch it? Okay, all the way over there. So stop poison ivy from destroying the island. I should be in here. This is the right one. What about that? That looks suspicious. Is it Batman's entire thing? Don't kill people? The explosive is for buildings, but yeah, the knives, it just apparently somehow doesn't kill people when they like batarang him in the head. And I'm like, interesting. Punch, punch. Oh my god, we might actually have to look this. Oh my god, it's right here. This is gonna be interesting, guys. This is gonna be interesting. Ooh, thing. Yay! What is that? The 10th Chronicle. I have missed a lot.
A new beginning.
Oh my god, it's like, damn. A turning point.
My family's
I don't know. Oh my god, shut up.
in an
Shut up,
unfortunate
please.
accident. These animals
He's still
cannot
talking,
be
guys.
cured. Like dogs, they only respond to discipline.
Spirit of
If
Arkham.
that fails,
Stop.
then I
There.
was
Oh my
afraid
god, oh my god.
accidents would have to
That.
continue.
Stop. There we go. Okay, we got it, we got it. Oh! Ah! Come on, come after me, Bubbles. Bubbles, Bubbles, toilet trouble. We got it. And then punch. Oh, nope, destroy. There we go. I forgot that punching and punching a plant are different things on here. I do love also how he like strings people up like that. Oh, that one's dead, but I mean, he strings people up, and you do realize if you're upside down for a certain amount of time, you do die. Like, suspicious. Okay, we're using a lot of quick batarangs, so I think that's gonna be something, Punching plants, oh, but it depends how you're going to punch them. Security gate control. Do we need to do something with this? Oh, wait, no, I already broke into this place, that's right. I already broke into this place.
Are you hungry, my poor baby?
Oh, eat and grow strong?
Strong.
No, thank you. No, thank you. Come on, bubble, bubble. Oh, one bubble. There we go. It got close to me, but it's okay. I'm sorry, Poison Ivy. I'm so sorry. I feel so bad about this. I love Poison Ivy. So if Batman just kill people? Exactly. Exactly. If we could just like kill Scarecrow and Joker and stuff. I know, but you have. I'm so sorry, Poison Ivy. I need the XP though. Actually, no, I don't. We're not. Oh, whatever. Yeah, we are. Maybe there's an achievement we get for the amount of plants killed. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Poison Ivy. I'm sorry, Dr. Isley. I want her to be on our side. Doesn't she date Harley Quinn, or is that a fan fiction I read? That might have been a fan fiction. I have no clue. I'm too confused. Wait, where am I going? This is gonna be the entire night, guys. It's gonna be me going, where am I going? What's happening? What's going on? People. Is this still electrified? That is still electrified.
Do you think you can handle me?
Maybe? Ooh, maybe not. Okay.
I'm waiting in here. Come to me.
Hi, Tentacle. Hi. Whee! Da 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 da, Batman! I will also be singing that the entire time. I need Elden Ring to have like a theme song like that. One that I can just say, you know, oh, pretty flowers. Wow, I'm distracted. Wow. Wow. But it's gorgeous in here. Oh my goodness. She's making it so pretty.
Are you scared,
Aww.
Batman?
No, I'm
You
actually very
should be.
calm.
You're
I'm
only
very
a man.
happy. I'm actually very happy in this place. I'm so relaxed. Hey, dudes, what's up? Wait, can I just...
got myself a
Oh,
little security, Batman.
I was gonna sneak up on them. Whoops.
They'll just die if anything happens to me.
Battering! Yeah! Yeah! Battering! Yeah! Whee! Cloak! Where are you going, sir? Okay, I've just like put them in a corner. I put baby in a corner. I'll put him over the edge. Yeah, and especially when they're like sending people over the edge of something and falling, and they're like, yeah, no, they're not dead, it's fine, it's fine. Killing people? Nah. Stabbing them to the point where they're in thousands of dollars of debt? Yes. Yeah, it's like, this guy might actually be more screwed up than a murderer. Do these people have health insurance? I doubt it. I doubt it. They just got out of Arkham Asylum. Well, escaped Arkham Asylum. Where's their healthcare insurance? Mm-hmm. Uh-oh. Oh, explosive gel? See? I thought of that before. It's poison ivy.
I told
Oh my
you to
god.
go to your cell.
Oh my god. Hello, 99.
Plants were in pain. Now
I realized they were evolving, growing stronger. I love poison ivy. My girl! Oh, this is beautiful and terrifying. Nom nom. Nom nom nom. Uh-oh. But she can destroy you. Uh-oh. Oh, and I don't like this perspective. Oh! Oh, can I change this perspective? Just keep...
Like a bat in a trap.
Okay, so just keep doing this, apparently? How do I
I
attack?
am stronger than you.
How the fuck? Quick battering! Ah, quick battering! Okay, this is gonna be the entire fight. My hand is gonna hurt so much. Oh, ouchies. Oh. Okay. Oh, this is actually easy. Does she have like a second stage? There's the second stage. Ooh. Come on, open up, girl. Ah. No, 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 no. Let me go, let me go. Does this do anything? It does! Oh shit, oh shit. Ouchies, ouchies, ouchies. Okay, oh, that hurts her a lot. Okay, if I just keep moving, then I think we're okay. Yeah, I think this works. Oh. Oops, ouchies, ouchies. That hurts. That hurts. That really hurts. Oh, my hand is so tired. Oh, we couldn't kill Poison Ivy anyway. Even if he was a killer, I would have been like, we aren't killing her. She is the... Oh no, I'm gonna die here. Come on, we need like... Oh my god, I realize now. I'm going directly into her stuff. Okay, wait, I get it. I get it. Oh, get out of the thorns! I think I get it.
Give in to a more powerful force, Batman.
Good thing I have infinite batarangs. Did I won? Holy shit. I think that was... Oh, is there a second phase? Oh. Oh, 2. There we go. Is this another phase? Whee! Oh, this is not the last phase.
He's trying to hurt me.
Oh, this is another phase. Oh, no, 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 no. Oh, wait, there's people here? Whee! I wonder if, the vines do anything to them. Ooh. Oh, it does hurt them. Oop, 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 it hurts me too. Okay. So they can break free from it. Nice, okay. So I got one down. Oh, no, 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 no. Okay, get out of there. So he's in the vines. He's in the vines. There we go. Okay, this is the one where it opens and we can get big damage. Ooh, ooh. My god. My hand hurts so much. Whew, whew. Oh my god, I'm like sweating here.
I need help here, boys.
Ah, no, 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 no.
Save me from the evil bat.
Woo, woo. No, 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 no. Okay, okay, oops. I went right into her hands there. Okay, there we go. Just keep quick battering her. There. Jump! Jump! Quick battering! Quick battering! Just keep going! Just keep going! I'm critical! I'm critical! Oh, I have like 1 HP. Come on, I need one more. Oh. Yes, yes. Oh my god, did I do that on my first try? Holy fuck. Really? No, don't hurt her. My poison ivy, please. Holy, wait, this is another phase? Does she have 3 phases? We gotta like stretch my hands. Poison ivy, my darling, I'm sorry. Do you still love me? No, that was the second phase. Because it went from white to gray, and then it went black. Oh wow, I did that first try. Holy shit. I know, because I'm always worried about her, about my girl. About my girl. Defeat the giant Titan ivy plant. Yay! Good news, the party's about to start. Joy. Joy. Ooh, upgrade. Sounds like a fun party. Okay, what can I upgrade? 2 targets to be taken out simultaneously. Okay. I don't want sonic shock battering. Ooh, okay. I don't really want that. And I don't really want these either. I guess we can go with the double battering. Is that the sexual? Oh my god, yeah. Oh, completely. That's just like an entire Marvel thing, though. That's like almost every single female character is like that. And it's kind of like, okay, no matter what you do, it's always gonna be like horrible like that. Go to the party in the penitentiary. Doesn't matter what armor, it virtually doesn't change. That is nice. That is nice. Wait, how many? 3 unarmed. Okay, we're fine. Yeah! I sent him flying! You! Ah! Third lunatic! Third lunatic! Oh, fuck. Okay, take down. Whee! Throw him! I love that. Oh my god, yeah. Skyrim armor sets. Basically almost every single fantasy game. It's crazy. Whoa, we sent him flying! Oh, he down. He is down. Oh, no, we want to go west. There we go. Okay, door locked. Oh, that's right. What is that sound? Those flags? I don't know what they are. Zaz's is counting on you to find his work. Still didn't find Zaz's work. Don't really know what it is. I'm like thinking about a bunch of different like mutilated corpses, but I can't find any. Is it the worst offender? Oh my god, yeah. Well, like the oh my god, what's it called? Holy crap. The Saints and Seducers armor. Oh my god, that's very bad. And that's a lot of people. That's a lot of people. Do they not care? Yeah. Did I just snap his neck? Did I just snap that dude's neck? I think I did. Steel plate armor is rough. Oh my god. A lot of the Skyrim mods, yeah. I've seen so many mods that just... they make them interesting. Do we kill them? Oh, there's a lot of people in here! Take down! Quick battering! Whee! I don't know if this, I don't think was necessary, but I'm still gonna do it. Critical strike! Whee! Okay, apparently we're just throwing people at each other at this point. Take down! I think I did just snap his neck. Did we just take down, like, about 20 unarmed people at once? Bro. Leg, not neck? Oh, okay. Poof. Max combo bonus. Oh, I got a lot of XP from that, though. Third title, there's much less of this. Just the leg. Damn. Whatever. I figure Batman wouldn't leave them alone, so I shouldn't. Ah. Ah. Okay. How do I get into the party, then? Oh my god, the amount of... oh my god, the amount of people here. I feel like this is an answer to something, but I don't know what. Can we get up here? We cannot. So, the door is locked. It's blocked. Still thousands of dollars in hospital bills. Yeah, well, and also, well, then again, they'll probably just get imprisoned. And, you know, then they'll be able to just, you know, live their life. Does prison have, free healthcare? I'm hoping. All night? This has been one night? Oh my god. Yeah, it would definitely... oh hey, it's Joker! It would definitely cut down on the amount of civilian deaths if he would actually kill people. Defeat Joker. Okay. Let's get ready. Oh. Ah! It's gonna be a blast? Yep, there you go. Oh, come on, I hid. It was fine. It was fine! It's at least like 2 hours. Yeah, I kept hearing that. Some people were saying like 45 minutes, others were saying like 3 hours. I'm like, I have no clue what it'll be. Oop, there's the TV. Joker, come back here! Oh, hey Joker, sup? Isn't the jail? Oh yeah. Oh, and then there's also Amanda Waller who will just, you know, bring you out and make her, yeah. She's the one that made all of them basically her own personal hit squad, Suicide Squad. And you're basically free after that to do what you wanted.
I'm sending you back to the ventriloquist where you belong.
Is that a bomb? Oh. Yeah, I'd be running the other way screaming. Oh boy.
Spoil everything, didn't you?
Are those
Beating up
mannequins?
Bane,
Oh, thank God, they're
feeding
not
Scarecrow to
bodies.
Croc, slapping around Harley, my hobby, by the way, and ruining all my lovely Venom plans.
What about Poison Ivy?
Over, Joker.
Does he not care about her?
Over? Why, my dear delusional Dark Knight, it hasn't even begun.
Oh God. Oh dear. How did I defeat these guys? Oh, I stunned them and then rammed them into the walls. Oh boy, okay. Oh boy, this is a lot of people. Oh, there's more? Oh my God, I'm already injured. No. Okay, I stunned that dude. Let's throw that guy, cause why not? Jump! Okay. Oh? Is this actually working? Oh, fuck, run. Okay. Okay, you're gonna be throwing corpses. Of course you are. Dipshit. Get him on the ground and stop on his... Okay, that's actually a genuinely, you know, good plan. Jump! Oh, that should have hit that other dude. Did that work? Okay, he did not go. Oh! Oh, okay, yeah, that's fair, that's fair. So now there's just these two for right now. Are you gonna, okay, you're gonna throw that at me. Oh, look at that. You two gonna have a bitch fit? You gonna have a little bitch fit? Oh, okay, never mind. Okay, now they're both angry. Okay. Just continuously throw batteries. It worked on last fight. Jump. Oh, and then that dude should be stunned. Then we go this way. Okay. He's smacking his ass. He's smacking his ass, oh my God. Come on. Okay. Oh, we're in a corner, we're in a corner. Oh, ouchies. Whoa! Just keep battering. Oh, battering! That just went randomly. Okay, that's okay. Hey, that worked. Thanks for taking out that dude. Oh. Okay, so now we need to focus on... Wait, is that guy? Oh, shit. Okay, that was a corpse. Jump! Oh, Oh, that hurt. Okay, okay, yeah, that was bad. Come on. What you gonna do? Go. And jump. Okay, then I should be able to get on this guy's back. Get the other dude. Come on over here, sir. There we go. Now we go to you. Uh-oh, more people. Ooh. This is not necessarily good. Jump! Okay. What? How did I dodge that? Oh my god. I should not have been able to dodge that. Ouch. Oh, I'm critical, I'm critical. Oh, I'm critical. Oh fuck, oh fuck. Okay, that'll take down one dude. I've definitely made a bunch of stupid mistakes. Yep, like that one. Like that one. I'm not gonna survive this, but that's okay. Woo! Woo! Just give me a little bit more health, just a tiny bit more. Yeah, we all know that it's not gonna be over actually for the Joker. It never is. Okay, who's gonna run at me? Oh, dodge! Oh, 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 this dude. Okay. One down? One down? Are you serious? Oh! Joe! God, dodge, dodge, and?
Just hydrate.
Holy shit. Holy shit. Yeah, this deserves a hydrate.
Nicely
That was sweaty.
done,
Oof.
Bats. You deserve a prize. Your own
I do.
pal, Commissioner.
Oh boy. Hey, Gordy, you good?
He looks all run down. Let's pep him up.
Uh-oh.
Oh!
Batman!
Batman! What was in that thing?
Get away!
Uh-oh, we're going mega.
Here we go.
Uh-oh.
We're gonna have some fun now, kiddies.
What did you give
Trying
me?
to resist the change. That's not fair. Come on, give it.
Given! Yeah!
So, you want to play hardball, Bats?
Yeah,
Tell
give me
ya,
another shot.
Your call.
Okay, a feather?
Tickle, tickle.
What?
No. Oh,
What?
You're ruining my big night. Months
I'm sorry, Joker.
planning down the crapper.
I'm so
I
sorry.
just wanted to bring down your grim facade and for
Aw.
once let you see the world as I see it.
He's such a kind-hearted person deep, deep, deep down.
You denied me even
Deep
that.
down.
I have nothing to live for.
Is he dead? No, he's not. Oh, we're gonna fight him as crazy. Oh, oh, oh dear. Help! Do we have backup, please? Can I have SWAT?
Remains under lockdown. Its staff at the mercy of the rampaging inmates. Just 10 minutes ago, we received this taped message.
Uh-oh.
Greetings, Gotham.
Joker here.
Arkham is mine.
To unleash madness.
Told to the streets of Gotham.
Yeah, I think he just infected himself with the very scary serum that turned everyone insane and giant and very, very strong.
We've been circling the tower
I'm
since-
scared.
There, Joker is making his move.
Yeah, that would be like, oh god, oh god. He went all dinosaur and he now has a mohawk somehow? Did he just like randomly cut his hair? Like, let me just get in there for a quick trim, make me look a bit better.
Batman! Let's
Yeah, that'd be like the most disappointing. That'd be the most disappointing end to a game ever. How is this fair? How is this fair?
And for one night only, please welcome our
Special guest.
referee.
Oh. Oh no.
Come on!
Oh, he is trying to make it fair. Aww.
It's the only way to beat me.
Ew, is that pus on him? Oh god, that's gross. Never! What did I do?
The antidote on yourself.
Yeah, why didn't we put it on him? I would have used the antidote on Joker.
Now that's funny.
What? Ah! Oh boy.
Miracle. But you
Still
spoil
spoiled my fun.
And for that, I'll paint Arkham with your blood.
Oh my god, yeah, I can't. Okay, wait. I cannot get over how there's like pus on his arms and stuff. It is the grossest thing ever. That's just my thing. Wait, I can upgrade. What do we want to upgrade? We don't want to upgrade anything. 3 targets. Okay. We only have 1 target right now. Oh, what?
Think you can beat me? Don't make me.
Why does it still say upgrade? Triple batarang. Upgraded. Okay. Ah!
Excuse me, Bats.
So, what are his
In
attacks?
you come, boys. I've
Aw.
softened them up for you.
Come on. Can't even do this yourself?
Here it comes.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
Here, what comes?
how was that round?
Are these bombs?
What?
Are these bombs? Oh, I think they are. They're stunning bombs. Okay. Oh, bro. Where's the bombs? Oh. No! It's quick battering. It just went to the wrong person. I countered that, you piece of shit. Okay, if I'm having issues with this does not bode well. Whee!
Is that Jack Ryder?
Jack Ryder? Hey, sup? Oh, explosive. No, that way. There we go. Well, I wish they would give me extra health for defeating those guys. I'll definitely have to redo this.
Give 'em a kicking for me, boys.
I'm definitely gonna have to redo this because I lost way too much health. Yeah, look at that. I'm making stupid mistakes. Whee! I said I'm flying. Yeah, I'm not countering correctly. Just dodge. Don't even counter. Ah, I keep trying to count. Oh my god, I'm almost dead already. Yeah, look at that. Oh my god. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. Throw him! Yes!
Ooh, more helicopters? How exciting!
And down!
Get off me,
Finish him? Okay, never mind.
boys! Knock him about a bit.
No. Oh, I'm almost dead. Oh my god, okay. Is it even just worth it to let myself die and just, yeah, start over? I think so. Yeah, we're just gonna let it do it. So instead of countering,
I have defeated your dear Dark Knight.
I'll only just
You're next.
dodge them. Yeah. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. We got a plan. Okay, we can skip through this.
Let's get ready to...
Oh, we upgrade. go.
Tango!
No thank you.
It won't kill you to smile.
Ah! Whoa, okay.
Excuse me, bats.
So we already have, we've already been injured.
In you come, boys.
Of course, of course. Whoa, I just like went across the... I dodged that. I dodged. I so dodged.
How was that round?
Oh my god, I can't.
Speak up.
Ooh, electricity, electricity! Oh, fuck no. Take down! No! Take down! Whee! You know, I think it's because my finger is like not working. Because of the poison ivy fight. I can't do it in time. There we go. Okay, that way and there. Oh, come on. Did I just do a backflip? That was awesome. That was so goddamn awesome. There. Oof. Oof. Oh, wait. Then we need 2. Wait, no. Battering 8. Wait, fuck. Which one is it? 6, 5, 4, 3. 3. Pull down. Okay, there we go. There we go. I don't want to get close to him. Can I even hurt him? It doesn't seem like it. Whee! Oh, I can hurt him. That was only the first stage. Okay. No thank you.
Think you can beat me?
Oh, it did give me help.
Make me laugh.
Ooh. Okay, this is possible.
I'm out, bats. My people need.
Okay, this is possible. Not probable.
Give him a kick
When he's
for me,
stuck?
boys.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm bored of him.
Okay, they're all unarmed.
Mind your head,
Oh no,
bats.
but that's that
I
dude.
think that was my
We have 2
round,
knives here.
you old man.
Okay, we got 1. Was that electrocuted? Jump, jump, jump! Jump! Ah! No, come on! Jump. Here we go. Ah! Ah! Whee! Okay. Whew. Oh my god, I am like... My hand is hurting so much. Oh, the electricity. Okay. Got another one. No! I'm just like spamming my keys, my keyboard. Oh my god, it hurts, guys. Ouch! There we go.
More helicopters? How
What?
exciting!
Oh wait, wait.
I'm done here.
Pull him down. Oh, pull down.
What are you
No.
doing?
Oh, I didn't get him in time.
Come in, boys. Knock
No,
him out of
I'm gonna
it.
die here.
Got a city to address.
Okay, I need to like... Oh my god. What does X do? X is detective mode? Okay, I know, I'm gonna die here. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Yeah, there we go. We're gonna switch. We're gonna switch some of my keybinds because I can't dodge. I can't dodge with my pinky anymore. It's that tired. Okay, wait.
Let's get her.
Wait. Game options. Controls. There we go. What was that? Movement. Actions. Oh, actions. There we go. Keyboard. No. Is that movement? Okay, left control, run, glide, use. Wait. Oh, fuck! No! 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 Oh my god. U controls. Let me pause. And how do I do this? Keyboard. How do I change this? I know I can do it on the other page, but I don't want to do that. Oh, it doesn't let us do that. Okay.
Hey, where you going? I'll rip you apart.
Woo! Oh my god, guys.
Excuse me, Bats.
So can we... Okay, no, we can't get it right there.
Come, boys. I've softened them up for you.
Keyboard alt? Oh, it's like... Because I know there is a way to change it. I have changed a couple of them. But it's just like, oh my god, my hand hurts so much right now. And it's only gonna get worse as I play more. I'm also a bit worried about my keyboard not, whoa, I just sent someone down. Oh! Jump! There we go. Look, he hit me like a baseball. I can't see shit. There we go. Come on. Oh my god, my hand. Guys. Woof. Woo! Oh my god, I'm almost dead again. Oh my god, yeah, this is just bad. My god, yeah, I just keep getting hit. I want to put it on easy. I so badly want to put it on easy. There, left control. Oh, hello, Woozy. Stupid question, curious, I have a controller. I do have an Xbox controller, but I have not connected it to this PC yet. And I don't want to do that on stream, because it took me a long time to get it for my other PC. Oh, run! So if I survive this, I get extra health. Oh, okay. What? I dodged this! Okay, this is not good. This is not good. I have, like, no health. Hey. Electricity, electricity! Ah! I'm trying, I'm spamming it, but it does not work all the time. Explosion. Okay, there we go.
So, Mr. Referee, how was that round?
Oh my god, I keep going into that wall. Okay. That one. Okay, there we go. Then up. Throw. No, dodge, dodge. Dodge. Finish. No. Okay, wait, the only thing is I can't do it until I finish off these guys.
Enjoy your evening.
I'm hoping it'll give me time, but yeah, otherwise I can't. I'm dead. Oh, I'm not. How did I get these guys again? Finish.
Come in, boys. Knock him about a bit.
Yeah, I can't get it in time. Holy shit. Okay, stun. Oof. Oof. Oh, don't go into the wall. Then that way.
Oh, Mr. River.
No, I got stabbed. I got stabbed. Oh yeah, controller would be so easy. Okay, we can do this. We can do this. I wish we had a checkpoint in the middle of it. I wish. Okay.
Let's get ready.
So first off, his reach is larger than we think.
I'll rip you apart
Yep.
for all Gotham to
I think no matter what, I just always lose health in this. Yeah, look at that. It's like, to me, it doesn't seem like it connects. Or maybe I have to do the Elden Ring thing and dodge into him. That's possible.
I've softened them up for you.
Okay, one electrocuted. Two electrocuted.
Oh, Mr. River.
Bitch.
How was that round? What? Speak up.
Take down! Stun. There we go.
That looks like it hurts.
Oh, electricity, electricity. Oh, fuck no. Okay. Wait, oh, wait. It stopped the electricity? There we go. I keep pushing them in there, and they keep not dying from it.
That Jack Ryder's chopper I see.
Okay. Oh, shit. Bring it down. Okay. Okay, we got this. Then punch. Okay, phase 1 complete.
Give
Run
me
away.
that shot, Bats. It won't kill you to smile.
No, okay, I dodged into him and it still did that. But we have more health than we did before. Okay, so we have to defeat them fast,
For me, boy.
which is bad. 'Cause I am not a fast person.
Mind your head, Bats.
And I missed every
I think
single
that was my
punch.
rock. Don't you, old man?
Ouch! Jump! Okay. No, I got stabbed. Jump. Okay, ouch. Another stab wound. Ouch. Stop stabbing me, you bitch. Down, okay. Then, there we go. Oh, electricity! Oh fuck, I saw that. That's what happened. And I'm like, oh shit. Take him down. Jump. Take him down. Jump.
Exciting. When I'm done here, march on Gotham, flanked by an army
Wait.
of brutal monsters.
Fuck.
Sounds like fun, doesn't it?
Come on. Okay, wait. There we go. Okay, this is good.
What are you doing?
Hold down. Wait, there's another dude here? Fuck.
You'll die for this, Bats.
Okay, I will take that and then get ready to dodge.
Bring it on.
Oh, okay, that works too.
And everyone will see.
Woo! 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 Okay, we're feeling it. Combination of baby and rusty, agile but also massive, fast but impeccable, strong but also fast.
I've got a city to address.
I am Catwoman, secretly. Uh-oh, what's that sound? That sound not good.
definition.
Oh, there's a gun, there's a gun! Oh shit! Do not get the gun! Okay, we have to keep an eye on that. Okay. No, come on! Ah, left! Woo! No, 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 if they get the gun, I'm fucked.
I think that was my route. Don't you, old man?
No! Okay, another one down.
I'll
Oh
give
my
you
God.
something for the morning news, Gotham.
Then, nope. Okay, he's down.
More newscopters?
Wait, wait, wait.
I'm flattered.
Come on. No, no, fuck, 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 no.
Boys, tear him a new one for me. Tonight, Gotham,
was down.
I have
I
defeated
thought he
your
was
dear
down.
Dark Knight.
No. Okay, okay.
You're next.
Okay, we can do this. We can do this. I was so close right there. I was so, so close.
Let's get
I forgot to finish him off.
to tango.
Okay, we can do this.
You'll lose, and everyone will see.
Okay. Then he leaves. That's okay. Ooh, my pinky finger.
In you come, boys. I've softened them up for you.
And I've already gotten a hit. Electricity! No!
Mind your head
He
back.
keeps pushing me into the electricity.
Mr. Referee, how was that round? What? Speak up.
Okay, there we go. Take down. Oops, I didn't take down. Jump! Jump! Come on. Counter. Oh my god, that did hurt. I don't get it. I'm pressing counter and it just is not working half the time. It only does it sometimes. Okay. Bum, bum. Down.
Is he okay?
Yeah, he's fine.
That looks like it hurt, Bats.
Yes, it did hurt. Oop.
Jack Riders, chop
Quick
right.
battering.
People of God,
Okay,
enjoy your
there. Pull down. And run.
Get out of this.
1, 2, 3. Okay, first one down, first one down. We got it, we got it. It's a marathon, not a sprint. Oh, run away!
You ready for this, Bats?
Okay, we don't have full health. But we can do this.
I'm out, Bats. My people,
We can do this.
give them a kicking for me, boys.
And if I don't get it this time, I'm gonna turn it down to easy.
Here it comes. I think that was my
Or no, we
round,
can defeat him.
old man.
It would be so much easier if it was on easy. Okay, we have an explosion. Oh, oh. Up, over. Don't hurt the knife, people. Don't kill the knife. Counter. Counter, counter. Oh, fuck me. Counter. Jump. Jump. Over bomb. Uh-oh. Okay, nope, we're good. On. And that way. Okay, those are down. Oh!
More helicopters? How exciting!
God damn it.
When I'm
Little
done
shit.
Here, I will march on Gotham flanked by an army of brutal monsters.
Okay, that one's down. Stun, down.
Knock him about a bit. I've got a city to address.
One. Oh crap, I missed it.
I am the greatest.
I missed my opportunity.
Don't you agree, Commissioner?
There. Okay, counter. Okay, that dude's over. Ooh, jump! Jump, 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 jump,
That hurt. Good.
God damn it. Yeah, after this, when I die, I'm gonna turn it down to easy. Because I don't want to deal with this. Take down. Jump!
I'll give you something for the morning news, Gotham.
Okay,
More news, Gotham?
there. There we go.
What are you doing?
Okay, and now it goes into scary, scary time.
You'll die for this, Bats.
Is there any way to Is there any way to stop them from getting the guns?
Bring it on. It won't kill you to smile.
No!
Bats.
So now I only have my original health, no upgrades. Oh!
Back in a second.
Yeah, this is not. Oh, I'm not winning this. I am not winning this.
In you come, boys.
I don't even know. Can
A new one for
I
me.
switch it up
Look out.
in the middle of a fight? Oh, he's going directly for the gun.
How was that round?
Okay. Okay, run. Okay, there we go. Oop.
Mind your head, Bats.
Oh, okay, so I don't go after that dude. So he is the electroprod. Nope, nope, don't go after him. Woo. Then wait, finish.
I think it's a unanimous decision. I am the greatest.
Down.
You agree, Commissioner?
Okay. Down.
Jack Ryder, can you hear me?
Then down. Okay, wait, no, no, no.
Fans in Gotham.
Bat, pull down, pull down. Come on. Did I win? Did I win? Did I not have to turn it down to easy? Please, please. I did so much. Oh God. But that means that this is a save point, right? Please?
Can't beat me. I'm actually going to win. Ready for
That means
the
this is a
next
save
round?
point, right?
What?
Because there's a cutscene.
Never let you win. Never.
Whoa, what about my fist? That's gotta be bad for my fist. Deliver an explosive knockout, normal difficulty. Oh my God. Oh my God. We did it? Wow. Wow. We actually did it. Guys.
Dad, thank God.
I was so worried.
I'm fine, Barbara. The GCPD finally has control of the asylum.
Wait, we
Doctors are
won?
treating the injured.
Did we win?
Looks like it'll take some
And that was
time.
only about an hour.
All super criminals are back in custody.
Poison Ivy.
Quite a mess in there. And the venom-enhanced inmates are returning to normal.
I'm kind of
The
amazed.
process can be quite painful.
I'm kind of in awe. I did not think I was gonna be able to do that without turning it down to easy.
See you tonight, Barbara. Shame about your car. Can I give you a ride?
Thanks, Jim, but I have one on the way.
Oh?
Get some rest. You deserve it.
I do deserve it. I just exploded my fist.
Stay safe, Jim.
Da-dam. And my plane is just there, because why not? What is his suit made of that was able to withstand that explosion? I want some. We finished it! Oh my god! And I can't believe we got Poison Ivy on my first try. First try. First try! Okay, wait. There we go. There we go, there we go. Oh my god, we did it! Wolfina, we won! Oh my god, thank you so much for the raid.
Just raided with 4 views.
We actually won. I can't believe it. This was amazing. Oh god, who was that? Who was that? Congratulations, you've unlocked Armored Batsuit to use in the challenge mode. We did it! Oh my god. Thank you so much for the raid. Welcome in, guys. We just finished Batman. I think we're gonna play a little bit of Pokemon, because we haven't played Pokemon in a long time. And then after that, maybe we'll do something else, because I don't think I'm leveled up enough to do too much on Pokemon. So we will just see. But oh, that was a really, really good, that was a really good game. And if the other two are like so much better, wow, this is gonna be so much fun to play through. We finished Arkham Asylum. Let's go. Okay, so now if we switch this over here, let me do this just for a moment. There we go. We'll get all of this ready. I have not played Pokemon on stream for so long, guys. So we'll have to see. We'll have to see what's gonna go on. If I remember everything. Oh, I gotta switch my face cam over. That's right. Where is Rusty? Rusty! Oh, he's on. So we have this. It's not really a table. It's like where you put a bunch of sheets and stuff in it. But we have this like pillowy thing over it, so it's really comfortable to sit on. He loves sitting on it, and it's like the same color as his fur. So it's like whenever he's on there, he blends in, like right now. And it was actually a couple of days ago, I walked into the room, and I'm trying to find him. I'm like, where is he? Where is he? He was just laying on the floor, but his stripes went with the grain, and so it was just like so cute. He actually blended into the floor. It was, oh my god, I can't. Oh, let's see. Let's get us up and ready for Pokemon. Do that. That was made in 2014. God, I love this song. Wait. I love this song so much. Bam, bam, ba-da-da-da-bam. Hey, okay. Okay, was on here on the 13th. That's good. That's all good. So you guys will be able to see my Pokemon. Let's see, transform. Not center. There you go. Flip. There we go. We flipped. Got a record player. There we go. We'll switch over to this right there. We will turn off the music just so you guys can hear this. Hear the amazing Pokemon music. Okay, there we go. We'll have to turn it actually on. I think I turned it off. I did. There we go. Ooh, hydration! Hydration time! I have to say, like, the coffee just hit perfectly today. It's snowing all outside. It's so nice. What is this one? Heart Gold. Heart Gold. Oop. My caps locks are on. Heart Gold. Come on. Woo. Okay, I guess I have to put Pokemon. One. There we go. There we go. We got it. We got it. Holy shit, guys. I still can't believe we finished it. And we did it pretty quick. Yeah, no, this is my other music. We're gonna turn that off. And then... Wait. It's too low. Can you guys hear that? I don't know why. Oh, I turned it down a lot. There we go. There's my Pokemon music. There's my Pokemon music. Okay. Now it's a little bit loud. And turn this down. Okay, so let's take a look here. It's been a little bit since we've been on Pokemon. Wait, let me get my Dragonair. Wait, I think... Guys, wait, let's see this. Let's see if I can get this to actually stay on my shoulder. So if I'm not wearing like a tight shirt or anything, it usually does not work. Like 8-bit music. It's the bit music. Let's see if Dragonite wants to stay on my shoulder tonight. Here we go. Okay. We'll see how long it takes before he falls off. There we go. Okay. We got it, guys. We got our Dragonite, and actually, we are training up Dragon. We still have like 14 levels until we level up into Dragonite, but overall, everyone's 40 plus levels. We do have our Burb, our Ho-Oh, our amazing legendary Pokemon called Burb, Egg Boy. My Ampharos still doesn't have a name, which I'm very sad about, but we haven't figured out a name for him. Water Girl and Rocky. Rocky's been training up. We've been training with Rocky. So let's see, wait, last time, let's see our Pokegear, our map. Yeah, last time we were over here in Blackthorn City, and then we went to, what was it? It was Ecruteak City, I think? No. Olivine, Goldenrod, somewhere like that. Wherever the theater was, we went there, we fought all of the EVs, all the evolutions, and then we came over here, and I did swim in the water a little bit just so we can see this part of the map. Which over here, Indigo Plateau is where we go to the Pokemon League. So we have to get all the way around here. And I don't know what Mount Silver exactly is. What just happened? Oh, thank you so much for the follower. My follower goal was completed. Yes. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much.
We reached our followers.
It is Pokemon time.
340.
Let's go to the falls.
Thank you, everyone.
Let's go to the falls so we can have an amazing time, and hopefully we can actually defeat some Pokemon trainers, maybe? I know there's a couple of trainers that we can fight before we get to the main event. Oh, not this one. Let's see. Oh, it's a Tentacool! Pop-pop-po! Wait, that's like too loud in my ears. 1 second. There we go. There we go. Just a tiny bit. Let's see. Dragon Breath! Oh, Dragon Rush. I forgot we upgraded that. Yeah, that would have been a little bit, overkill. Whoops. But, you know, it's fine. We did fight this dude. What's this place? This is the falls, the link between two places. So we haven't been able to get this house. I don't know what this house is, but let's go to the falls. I know we have Waterfall on one of our Pokemon. I just can't remember which. I know we have Whirlpool. I just cannot remember which ones do what. I just know that we have it. Ooh, Pokeball. No! We have to go up the waterfall. Goldeen. So we're not gonna go crazy. So we have Aqua Tail. Oh, this is Waterfall. Yeah, this is probably the worst Pokemon for this battle, but it's okay. We're training up Dragon. Oh, my goodness. Goldeen. Waterfall! And Waterfall doesn't do shit. That's fine. Okay, up we go. It's a large waterfall. Would you like to use Waterfall? I would. Whee! Okay, so somehow we're able to get down to a lower level and get all that stuff, I think. Yeah, oh my god, that's actually a lot of fun. That's actually a lot of fun. It's a Slowpoke! Do we have a Slowpoke? I think we do, guys. Dragonite, do we have a Slowpoke? Yeah, you're right. I'm pretty sure we do. Or do we? Okay, if the Slowpoke survives this... Oh, yeah. Disable. That's not good. Oh. Okay, you know what? Why not? I can't remember. I'm like 90% sure we do, but just in case... Let's use an Ultra Ball, oh my god, to get a level 20 Slowpoke with no health. God damn. Oh, I didn't have Slowpoke! Oh! Hey! Nice job, me! So we can go over there, but first, let's go to this place, and what do we have? A Moonstone. I don't think we need a Moonstone for any evolution, but that's still good to have. Still good to have. Golbat! Golbat! Dragon Rush! And Insta-Fate. There we go. So, water is a deep blue. I would like to surf. Why, thank you. And now we can go out the other side of this cave. And we're in the new area, and we're on our way to the Pokemon League. There we go. I almost said the Pokeball League. Like, yeah. Stretch! Ready to stretch, Dragonite? Yeah? You ready to stretch? Woo!
996
I'm like, please don't fall off.
997,991 just redeemed Stretch.
It was funny when I was, so I think I will bring Dragonite to TwitchCon again. Just because I think it'll be hilarious to have my little orange boy on my shoulder. And I can't, it's just, oh my god. I love having a little orange boy there. My other orange boy isn't here. It's rare to see anyone come here. Are you training on your own? Yes, yes I am. Apparently you're gonna test that though. Okay. Bulbasaur. Oh, it's a Bulbasaur. Burb, go. Level 32 Bulbasaur. Meet Ho-Oh. Oh, let's see. Let's actually just do that. There we go. It's super effective. Venusaur, keep battling. No, TwitchCon in San Diego. Amsterdam just went on for tickets and stuff, but I'm going to go to the American one, since I did get a lot more out of that than the European one. I made a lot more connections and stuff. Many more connections. And also, I just like, yeah, I finally found San Diego, and it's like, I like the area. I might actually, ooh, no, don't switch. I might actually go and do the block party this year if they have it. I was in between last year and I didn't go. But I don't know, I think the block party would be pretty cool. It'd be pretty cool, Fire Blast! It was just like, at first I thought it was really, really expensive, but then when I thought like how many drink and meal vouchers they gave me, I'm like, I'm just gonna like take all that stuff and bring it back to the hotel, fuck it. Oh, do not go down there so I don't have to go back around. Hello, K9, oh my goodness. Thank you so much for stopping by. Dragonite also appreciates it. And we're gonna have, where are you off to with Pokemon? The Pokemon League. We're on our way to the Pokemon League. Are your Pokemon loyal enough for you to win? Let me see. Your Pokemon trusts you very much. Why, thank you. I obtained the TM37, which happens to be Sandstorm. Okay, I got it. Is Burb the legendary? It's Ho-Oh. Yeah, the legendary Ho-Oh. We rung the bell and captured Ho-Oh with, I think it was a Great Ball. I'm pretty sure it was like a Great Ball that we got. And everyone's like, oh my god, no, you gotta use the Master Ball quick before you accidentally kill him. And I'm like, nah, we're just gonna use like 20 Great Balls. And I think I got it on like the first or second one. It was crazy. It was crazy. Oh, is it a Tentacool? It's a Tentacool! Go, dragon! Okay, Water Ball, and let's use Wrap. Why not? Why not? Let's see, we can't go that way, but we can go right here. I know we have a decent amount of potions and stuff, but I kind of want to get my Pokemon all healed up. I know we can at this point in time, but still. Ace Trainer Blake sent out Mag... Okay, wait. Wait, we need our... Where is it? Here we go. Okay. Okay, so Steel type. Let's take a look at this. That's normal Steel. Fighting, Ground, and Fire is good against Steel. Got my little cheat sheet up. So we're gonna go Fire, Ground, and Fire. Wait, Fire, Ground, and... What was it? Fire, Ground, and... something else. Go, Rocky! You have a Ground type move, right? Rock. Oh, Fighting! There we go, that's it. Fighting, Ground, and Fire. I think our Ground is Water Girl. There we go. Rocky's confused. Whee! Quagsire. Okay, Quagsire is water and ground, so that means... Was it water? Wave? Okay. Okay, we got this. Let's switch Pokemon to Water Girl. Quagsire be Quagsire. Earthquake! There we go. We just use. Okay, we both use the same thing. There we go. Am I asleep? Slam? There we go. When in doubt, slam. And I'm asleep. Yeah, we'll switch Pokemon. Was it Quagsire again? Just go, Egg Boy. Go, Egg Boy, go! Oh, execute, okay. Here we go, and that's fine. Ooh, that's not gonna be effective. Ancient Power? There we go, we got him. Dragon grew to level 41, aww! I got $1,800. Anthony, hello? Which one is this? Sup, this is Anthony, how are you? Okay, Anthony, thank you. Yeah, I was battling this Zubat the other day. It took off when I was distracted by a passing beauty. For my mistake, always stay focused on the job. Ooh, a butterfly! Ooh, a butterfly! Yep, that's me. Okay. Yeah, worst case, if our Pokemon get too low, we can just use some repels. Ooh, Pokeball! Ah, goddammit. I got excited. There was a thing! There was a thing!
996,997,991 just redeemed hydrate.
Hydration! Okay, let's see. There we go. Okay, Waterfall. Waterfall did kind of work. That's good. So if I run out of moves, does that mean I can't use it as an HM? I don't think so. I don't think I should be worried about that. Destiny Knot? The fuck does a Destiny Knot do? Bag. Let's see. Scarf. Oh, it's this! Holder becomes infatuated, the foe does too. Okay, I remember that. I remember that! Run! Hello? Oh dear, it's another ace trainer. Oh, he's psychic types. Right? Yeah, psychic, okay. Starmie, so water. Okay, against water, we want to use... Okay, electric and... Yeah, okay, just use electric. Our Ampharos, it's time for you to come out and play. Okay, oh, and I forgot that we have a bug type move too. Super effective. Okay, Giraffig, okay, they're psychic and ground, so let's see. Oh, we can just use bug, we can use a bug type, keep battling. Should be weak to Signal Beam. It's super effective! Okay, I keep forgetting that execute, keep battling, we can just keep using this bug attack. Signal Beam, and it just destroys psychic type Pokemon. I have no clue why. But it's like, yeah, this makes sense. Oh, only $1,000? Ooh, ooh. Came from New Barktown? Yes, I did. Okay, who are you? Ace Trainer Rena. Growlithe, okay, fire type. Let's look at our little cheat sheet. Fire is weak to ground, rock, and water. Okay, so this is a perfect time. This is a perfect time to use my dragon. Time for some water type moves. Waterfall! Who are they, Staryu? We'll switch to Ampharos. Okay, and then we'll use Thunder Punch. Perfect, super effective. Okay, we're gonna send out next. Dorina, that's poison. It's poison and dark, poison and ground. Ground and psychic for that. Okay, so switch Pokemon to Egg Boy. And then we will use extra sensory, not fly, not fly! Whoops. Okay, that's fine. Extra sensory, there we go. That works too. I got too excited there. I got 2,100? God damn, they were rich. Not too shabby, you're doing something right if you can beat me, even by an unlikely fluke. You can be my practice partner? Sure, yeah. We made a new friend, aww. Whenever in the Poke here, don't get too high and mighty about beating me. It was a fluke. Yeah. Oh god, mother, what did you buy? Hello? How are you? I found a useful item. Oh my god, it's another berry. I swear to god, if she sends me more berries, I might just stop answering her calls. I can't believe it. Okay, up we go. We're at 26. God damn it. Feeling great today. Feel like I could even beat something, the champions, whatever. Quillfish, so we don't want to use fire. We want to use, is it ground and steel for water types? Oh no. Leaf and electric, okay. Oh, grass. Why do I keep saying leaf? Like, yeah, that makes sense. Discharge! Super effective! Ambrose, there we go. Seeking, keep battling. Use Thunder Punch. Super effective. Why, thank you, I know. Keep battling. Then we'll use Discharge. I forgot how satisfying it was to defeat Pokemon. Okay, he didn't have a lot of money, but that's okay. What's that? Just like in fishing, it's all over. In Pokemon, if you give up. Yeah, that's what most things are like. That's just what most things are like. Okay, we are going to use a... Do we have a Repel? Awakening. Where did we put the Repel? Like the... Oh, Max Repel. Okay, yeah. Let's use that. Use. Okay, just because I'm a bit worried that if there's more trainers and stuff, we won't be able to fight them. Oh, what's this? Do we go in here? Maybe. Hello! Oh, I'm wasting my Repel. Think you were lucky to find a place to rest right where you needed it? Don't be reserved. I look forward to people's smiles. Pokemon rest here. It's a rest place. Yes, oh my god. Pokemon are looking good. Keep at it. Thank you. She's so nice. So nice. Hello. You come this far, you must be good. I'm going to give this battle everything I've got. Yeah, try me. I dare you. Joyce sent out Pikachu. Aww. Okay, wait. Electric, ground. Okay. Ground is the only thing. Which means we want to go to Water Girl. Double team. Okay, Earthquake. Which should be super effective. There we go. Perfect. Their Pikachu fainted. Aw. Blastoise, water type, which is, okay, electric, keep battling, why not? Slam? Okay, rain continues to fall. Let's see, Earthquake. Ooh. There we go, rain continues to fall. Let's go Slam again. Ouch. Oh, okay. We have to hopefully we can revive at this place, because otherwise I can't go in the water. Crap. Oh god. Tail. There we go. 42! Please say that I can rest again. Please. Please. Looking to find a place to rest. There we go. Oh, thank God. We can do this multiple times. That's so good. So good. Pokemon are looking good. Keep at it. Hey, she's so positive. She is so positive. It's wonderful. Now let's get this. I realize I think I still have some Pokeballs ready for me, but I can't remember what town it's in, and I also don't feel like going back there. Go this way, or... Ah, not that way. I guess we have to fight this dude. Hello! Don't mind me. Okay, I guess we're fighting. Ace Trainer, Gavin sent out Victory Bell. We are going to go, that's poison and grass type, which means Burb. I choose you. Burb is my heavy hitter. Let's see. Fire Blast. And dead. Kingler. Switch Pokemon. What is that? Water type? The Water Girl? Right? Oh my god, I remember what this Pokemon is. Okay, they protected. Earthquake. There we go. Now we use Surf. Perfect. Not very effective, but that's cool. That's cool. Ace Trainer's about to send in Flareon. Okay, switch. Do not want water type there. Let's go Egg Boy. We'll use Extra Sensory. Not Fly! Goddamn, I need to switch those two. Extra Sensory, there we go. Oh, that was not the right one. Ancient Power? Whee! Super effective! Egg Boy, there we go. It does give you a decent amount of XP. It does. Yeah, sure. Phone number, whatever. How should I beat you? I'm tormented. Can we go up this way? Nope, okay, that's fine. I'm making my final preparations for the Pokemon League, so we must be close. We must be getting very close. Okay. So this is water type. Water and ground, I think. Okay, so grass and electric then. Do we have any grass type moves? I don't think we do. Thunder Punch? Oh, wait. Maybe it's ground? We use Signal Beam. Oh, that does it. That does it. I can't remember what type Parasect is. Interesting. Vaporeon. Keep battling? Yeah, keep battling. I wish I had EVs. I wish. Okay, Golduck, Water, and Psychic. Keep battling. Can use Signal Beam for beating Joker that fast. I'm still so proud of that. I'm so proud that I have the achievement on there. I'm like, yeah, I did it. And I was almost about to put it down to lower difficulty. I'm so glad that I didn't do that. I'm so glad that I didn't do that. I'm like, I knew we could beat it, but I was like, oh, it'll be difficult. But nope, we got it. I lost to a redheaded trainer. He was really strong, but it was as if he absolutely had to win at any cost. I felt sorry for his Pokemon. It's Gary. It's female Gary. Okay, Rapidash. Oh, we do not want to be Dragon right now. We want... What do we want? Oh my god, why can't I remember what counters fire type? Ground, rock, and water. Oh my god, it's... Oh yeah, this is fine. Even Pokemon hates Gingers. I'm like, god damn, I know. It's like, Dragon flinched? No, don't flinch, Dragon. Waterfall! Wait, that's super effective? Oh god. Nope, Dragon, you're fine. Go away. So rock, ground, and water. Let's use Earthquake. And there we are, okay. Hurt Bites Burn. Flaffy. Okay, Flaffy is electric and normal. So we want ground. So keep battling. So this is just using our ground move. So basically, if we can go against all these trainers, we should be good, like, attack-wise. Like, levels, we'll still have to level up, but attack-wise, we should be okay. And Dragon's 43, so now everyone is equal. Perfect. Although I still do want to train up Dragonair, because I want him to be Dragonite. We should battle it again sometimes. We should battle again sometime. There we go. Yes, there we go. Okay, so I do want to go down here to get the Pokeball that I saw. And then we can wrap around. Repels effects wore off. We're okay with that. Max Elixir. That's good. That's good. Not great, but it's good. Back up here. Back around. Whoop. Whoop. And is this what I think it is? Route 26 Pokemon Leave Reception Gate. Oh my god. Bum, bum, bum. Let me show up all my badges. Only trainers who've been proven themselves in the past. Oh, the 8 badges of Johto. Please go right on through. Okay, thank you. Hello? Mount Silver. Wait, I'm not ready for it? You're not ready for it. Oh god, okay. Walk for the time being, I'm afraid. Interesting. Okay, that's Kanto, blocked for the time being. So then this way, I'm not ready for this, Mount Silver. Okay, I guess not. We go straight through. Victory Road! Wait, so they don't let me go to these other places? Oh god, oh god. Just fight the police. I want to heal my Pokemon first. Yeah, we fought like all these different Pokemon stuff. Just fight the police. They're Pokemon in a sense, you know. Their Pokeballs are like their cop cars, and you gotta catch them all. I think somehow that makes sense. Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. So let's see if she'll still let me rest here. There we go. So all of our Pokemon are rested up and ready. Which means let's take a save. Let's take a save, guys. Save state. I have a third save because I almost lost both saves when I was leveling them up earlier. And I'm like, yep, okay, we need like 20 of them. I remember why I did that for Silent Hill now. I'm like, yep, that's about right. That's about right. Okay, up we go once more. Guess we can only go one way through here. Such buzzkills. I could deal with Mount Silver. Yeah. Okay, Victory Road. Okay, we use Strength. Do we want it somewhere else? I guess just in there. Ah, Pokemon! What is it? Oh, it's an Onyx. Okay, I thought it was gonna be, like a Golbat or something. So, Steel and Rock, I think? So, Fighting, Ground, and Fire. Let's see. Fighting, Ground, and Fire. So, I mean, our Rocky has the Fighting one, and Ground is Water Girl, Fire, Burb. Burb! Go, Heavy Hitter! Sacred Fire! Wait, oh, it's not very effective? Wait, so they're not Steel type? Is it just Ground? So Water? Wait, let me take a look at this. Ground, yeah, Water, Grass, and Ice. Oh, was not the choice. Water, we should do that, okay. Water Girl, go! We just have to be very gentle with Water Girl, because she's my ride. Surf? There we go, super effective, okay. We got it. We got it. So not that way. Go, a potion, just a plain potion, okay. We're on Victory Road, but yeah, just a plain potion, that's fine. There's Pokemon on this... Okay, let's just keep going. Waterfall. There we go. Super effective. One shot. We level up over there. Not this way. Is it the other way? Yeah, up and around. And what do we have? A full heal. That was not worth it, but it's cool. It's cool. Oh, nothing goes this way. Ah, there's the Golbat. There's the Golbat. Let's see, Dragon Rush? Yeah, God, Dragon Rush is crazy. Okay, Mother, nope. We're not talking about the new berry that you bought me. Not happening. Graveler, which means water. There we go, super effective. Let's go. I could probably move those rocks to get whatever's Oh, we don't have this Pokemon. We do not have this Pokemon. Let's be very gentle. Okay, super effective. Rat? Okay. Yeah, we can do this. Then let's go bag. Infinite Zubat or Golbat spam. Oh my god. No, I think the Zubat is worse because you don't get the you don't get as much XP, but you're still using all your best attacks and stuff. And it's like, bro. Come on, let's see. Come on. Yay, we got him. Okay. We got her. Donphin. Yay. Yeah, spamming Zubat like later on in the game, it's just worthless. Give it a nickname, no thank you. Okay, up the ladder we go. Victory Road. This way, and I think we have to go up and around. I kind of want to use a Max Repel. Then again, I've been defeating them with one-shots usually, so let's just leave it. Oh, okay. And it's a Golbat! Surprise, surprise! Dragon Rush. Oh, my attack missed. Shit. Why does my attack keep missing? I'm confused. Oh god. Oh god. No. Switch out, Dragon. We'll switch to Water Girl. Ground moves won't work, but we'll see what else we have on her. Surf. Water Girl use Surf. There we go. And then we'll use Whirlpool. And it missed. Of course it did. Why is this so difficult right here? Oh my god, Whirlpool does nothing. I forgot about that. Why did I do it again? Come on. There we go. We got it. We got it. So let's change our Ender Pokemon. Since Dragon is very low, we're gonna switch to Ampharos. Well, actually, no, we shouldn't do Electric type because there's a lot of Rock types and Ground types here. So there we go. Egg Boy. And I think, yeah, Dragon still has the XP share. Extra sensory. Oh, that did not insta-kill. Whoops. Well, Graveler fainted. Around here. I really don't care about the Pokeballs at this point. I'm like, nah. Nah. They haven't been giving me very good stuff, so we'll just have to let them go. We'll let them be free. Okay, extra sensor, that should do about half. Oh, never mind. Okay, that works. Just go for it. Just go for it. There we go. 262 for each. We want to go up here. Ah, crap. Okay. Interesting. Interesting place here. Sensory. Dragon Breath. Okay, that's actually a nice move. Ouch. Whew. Oh my goodness, excuse me. For some reason, I'm just like exhausted. That's just like been everything recently. Egg boy gained XP! Yay! There's no way to get over there, so I guess, oh my god. Yeah, we're gonna have to use a repel, because this is just so annoying. Fury attack? Oh no, no, no. And I'm paralyzed. Okay, so we'll switch out to Burb? Okay, Ho-Oh, go for it. Fire blast! Doesn't do much. Oh, never mind. It was fine. That was fine. Let's fall down here, and then I guess we'll have to push something? So wait, no, instead of Pokemon, let's go for... Pokegear, no bag. Then Max Repel, we'll use another one of these. Max Repel! I miss Geodude as an enemy. I know, it was like so adorable. You just had little Geodude doing just whatever he wanted. Just living his life. Okay, strength made it possible to move boulders. There we go. Wait. Uh-oh. I did an oopsie. Oh no, that's fine. That is fine. We just won't get the Pokeball. We just won't get the Pokeball. So anything over here new? Ooh, Pokeball, Ultra Ball. I will take that. Breakable, I would like to break. What did I get? Anything? Or actually, no, there's just shards and stuff in there, so we don't need that. We don't need the shards. How do I get down here? This? Maybe? HP up, nice. Okay, we chose the correct one. Let's do this. And we go upstairs again. Oh, there we go. And now we're on the correct ground level. Go up and around here. Oh, never mind. There's stuff in the way. Of course there is. Then up again? Oh, wait, no, there's Pokeball. Ooh, Pokeball. Stuff. Earthquake. We don't need Earthquake, but that's fine. Then Repel's effects wore off. Ah, shit. How do we get around this? Oh my god. Okay, we're gonna have to do another Repel just because it's so annoying. It's so annoying. Okay, never mind, that worked. But okay, let's do this. Simple times, the simple pleasures. Go another Max Repel. Oof. Used 3 of them so far. Oof. So this way. A door! A door! Oh, we should not have wasted the Max Repel. Oh no, it's Gary! It's female Gary! Are you gonna challenge the Pokemon League? Victory Road is at its end for sure. But did you notice? You didn't see any real trainers on the way, did you? Man, they were all spineless. Well, the fact that you've come to this far means you're not one of them. But your journey ends here. Because right here, right now, I will crush you. My Pokemon are not healed up. Oh shit, oh shit. What happens if I lose? What happens if I lose? Okay, Rival Gary. Sent out Sneasel. Oh my god, what is Sneasel? Dark? I don't know. Sneasel used Faint Attack. Okay. Extrasensory does not affect me. So first off, Hyper Potion. That's 200 points. We're gonna use that on Egg Boy. Go. Okay, use Faint Attack. And we're also going to use Restore Hyper Potion on... Wait, no, we need 100. Wait, not Pokeball. What's that? Super Potion, 50 points, Potion, Max Potion, whatever. We'll buy more. There we go. What is Sneasel? Let me, Sneasel, type. There we go. Okay, Sneasel is Dark and Ice. Okay, Dark and Ice. So Dark type, Fighting Bug and Fairy. Ice is basically everything. Okay, so let's go for my bug attack, which is Ampharos. Burb gonna carry? Burb better carry. So Ampharos, then we'll go the bug beam, signal beam, there we go. That should insta-kill, yep, there we go. Sneasel down. 508. Ferligator, so that is water and something. So let's go electric. Keep battling. Ampharos is actually pretty good against his team. Go Thunder Punch. Ooh, ouchies. Ooh, it's super effective, but don't kill me, please. Oh, oh shit. No, I gotta switch out. Because he's gonna kill me with that hit. Let's see, Rocky? No, this was a bad move. Rocky. Oh god. It can't move though. Rock Smash. Shit, that doesn't do anything. I'm panicking. Water type? Okay, grass and electric. Dragon Pulse. When in doubt, Dragon Pulse. It's super effective. Yep, I just realized that. So let's see. Go to Dragon. Just a little more. Hang in there, Dragon. Dragon Rush. There we go, okay. Ooh, Haunter is Ghost type, which means Ghost and Dark type. Ghost and Dark. Switch Pokemon. I don't know if we have a Dark type move. Okay, what about Egg Boy? What if we do Extra Sensory? Oh, never mind, it's super effective. Ghost and Dark. Got it. Dragon is 44. Magneton, which is Electric type. Or Steel, sorry. So Fighting, Ground, and Fire. We're gonna switch to Ho-Oh, my burb. Gonna use Sacred Fire to really screw him up. There we go, super effective. Golbat, switch Pokemon. So, is that Flying and Dark is Golbat? So Electric, Rock, Ice. Then we want to switch, Rocky would have been good there. So let's switch to, actually no, let's just stick with Burb. We'll use Sacred Fire again. And then, okay, I was gonna use Extra Sensory to finish him off, but that works. Kadabra is Psychic, which means, oops, don't open Curse Forge. Which means we want to go after, so Bug, Ghost, and Dark. So we want to switch to Ampharos. Oh, but Ampharos is basically dead. Well, let's just use, let's just use Sacred Fire. Yeah, it worked! Ho-Oh did carry. My burb carried. Okay, we are very, very low, but that's okay. I haven't given up on becoming the greatest trainer. I'm gonna find out why I can't win and become stronger. When I do, I will challenge you. I'll beat you down with all my power. You keep at it until then. Okay, bro. Whatever. Mother, you're calling me right now? Useful item in the shop. Okay, yep, thank you. And we're free. I need to save, and I also need to heal. Where can I heal, please? Is this the plateau, the ultimate goal for trainers? Oh, Pokemon League HQ. Please let me heal. Yes, a healing center. Thank you. Rest my Pokemon? I would like to rest my Pokemon. I would. Okay, which means file, save. 2 and 3. So what do we have over here? Oh, this is, I need to buy stuff. Ultra Ball, Max Repel, Hyper Potion. Yeah, let's get 2, 3, 4. I like 5. Yeah, let's get, there we go. Okay, Okay, hyper potion. Let's do some revives. How many do I have? Oh, we have 10. That's fine. If we need more than 10 revives, there's something wrong with us. So let's get a couple more hyper potions then. Let's just get 2 more. Like 106,000, so we should be okay. And then let's get 1 or 2 more ultra balls. Oh, we have 10 ultra balls. Let's just get 1 then. And then we'll get some max repels just in case. 1, 2, 3. Oh wait, no, I don't want more. There we go. Do we need to sell anything? Miracle seed. That's fine. You know, I don't think we have anything to sell. The big scary battles. The big scary battles, oh no. Who are you? Pokemon League, you will get tested by the Elite Four. You have to beat them all. You lose, you have to start all over. Oh god, okay. I don't know if we're a high enough level to do this or not. I really don't know. Really don't know. Suddenly feel discouraged and leave. My Abra can take you home, but trainers just fly home lately. I feel left out. Aww, that's sad. What is this? Communication cup. Oh, okay, there we go. Wait, no. I can't do any of this. Back. Hello, sir. Once you enter the store, you'll be facing one of the Elite Four. They're really tough. You cannot exit. I'm not ready. Wait. Let's take a look here. We are gonna do my little research. Heart Gold, Elite Four. Okay, I did not spell that correctly, but that is fine. Pokemon database. Gym number 1. No, I need my Elite Four. Heart Gold. So Elite Four. So we have Will, Koga, Bruno, and Karen. Oh, and Lance. And the champion is Lance. Okay. So let's see. So Psychic. That's Psychic, Flying, Ice Psychic, Okay, they're like level 40. Koga is Poison, so we need Psychic, which is Bug. We're basically just only able to use Bug against Psychic. Poison types, Ground and Psychic, so then we'll switch to Egg Boy. So first Ampharos, then Egg Boy. Bruno is Fighting, which means Flying, Psychic, Egg Boy. We basically just have to have Egg Boy. We basically just have to have Egg Boy up there. And then Dark type is Fighting, Bug, and Fairy. So then that's okay. And then Dragon. What's against Dragon? Ice, Dragon, and Fairy. So okay, let's take a look here. Let's take a look at my Pokemon. The first one I said was going to be Ampharos. And then we want Egg Boy second. Rocky is gonna go third. And then Dragon, Burb, and Water Girl. Okay, yeah. So Burb is just kind of our, Burb's our secret weapon there. Let's do another save, because I just want to save all of this right now. There we are. Let's try this, guys. I don't know if we're gonna win. I do not know. I kind of doubt it. But it's okay. We'll see how far we can get, and then from there we'll kind of figure out what we need to train. So first is Psychic, which means spam Signal Boost. Signal Beam. God damn it, I cannot get that right. Jinx, okay. Signal Beam. Go! Okay, super effective. Just keep using Signal Beam. Okay, 1 down. Jinx fainted. 44. Say 2. Keep battling. Okay, Signal Beam. Oh, I'm dead. Okay. We'll send out Burb. We'll use Sacred Fire. Okay, that works. Hurt Bites, okay, fainted. Okay, this works. When in doubt, just Herb. Slowbro. Slowbro is also water type, which means electric and... Okay, now, so we can't use you, so let's switch Pokemon. Water Girl. We're gonna use Earthquake. That should be super effective. Never mind, it does not. Wait, did it just use Curse on me? Oh shit. Oh shit. Oh no, it's a critical hit! Slam? Slam? Oh, this isn't gonna work, this isn't gonna work. Okay, okay. So, Rocky? Let's see if this works. Oh, and I don't think I can heal them in between battles. Oh no, I used the wrong one. I know, I'm almost done. I'm on the Elite Four, and I do not think I am high enough for that. It's super effective. Yeah, I know that. Yep. Yeah, we're not going to win this. This is our first one. This is our first battle. And we're already down 3 or 4 Pokemon. 3 Pokemon. Dragon Rush! And it still didn't work. Okay, defense, there we go, Wrap. A full restore, because of course it did. Oh my goodness. Dragon Rush, we basically just have Dragon Rush. I was trying to hold my other Pokemon for later on, but no, this is not gonna work out. Basically, if my Ampharos gets taken down, we are screwed. So let's see, just keep using that. I'm gonna have, like, no more Dragon Rush after this, though. Waterfall isn't effective at all. But yeah, I don't have... Oh, I don't have anything else. Go Egg Boy! Psychic, extrasensory. Yeah, that doesn't do anything. Ancient Power? Okay, that worked. Okay, Egg Boy is level 44. Keep battling. There's no... I'm not gonna win this. I am not gonna win this. There we go. Okay, so Ancient Power does work. Burb. Go. Go, Ho-Oh. Fire Blast. There we go. Super effective. Z2, keep battling. You don't really have a choice at this point. Woo. Okay. Use Ray. No, don't confuse me! Sacred Fire, go! Okay, okay, good, good, good. Used Restore, but it's hurt by its burn. Fire Blast. Don't kill me, please. Oh, okay, that's the first trainer. And we are basically completely dead. Yeah, oh my god. Even though it was defeated, da-da-da. Yeah, nope, nope. Nope, let me go, let me leave. They won't let me leave. Okay, so we're just gonna have to accept that we're gonna die here. Poison type. Poison type is ground and psychic. So this is Egg Boy, but I don't think Egg Boy... Yeah, Egg Boy's dead. Yeah, we have nothing. We have nothing to fight him off. We have nothing. We're just gonna use some attacks and wait until we die. So we definitely still need the train up. Holy crap, yeah, we do. Ew! I hate these. Oh wait, this is bug type, which means... Herb should be able to use Fire Blast. Poison Jab. Oh god, I have 3 and I'm poisoned. I'm dead. Yep. Yep, yep. My legendary Ho-Oh is dead. Go Dragon! Dragon Rush! And I missed, and I'm dead. Sad. To be fair, I did not believe I was gonna win. So I'm like, yep. I scurried to the Pokemon Center, protecting the exhausted and fainted Pokemon from further harm. Whoof! Whoof! Oh my goodness! Okay, yeah, we need to level up. We need to get to at least like level 50. Holy shit. Oh my god, Mother, stop calling me. Oh my god, found a useful item while I was shopping. I don't need more berries. Do you need more berries? I don't think so. So I want to let's look at my team here. So I definitely like that. So Ampharos, basically Ampharos and Egg Boy, I just have to continuously use that. But let's take a look here. Let's take a look-see. So they're like level 40, 46, level 50. And let me look up. I'll save it to bookmarks tab. Dragonair, evolution. Ooh, there we go. What level? 30 and then 55. At level 55, we get Dragonite. So, okay. We have, what is this? Wait, quit. Okay. 11 more levels. If we get everyone to level 55, I want Rocky to go into Steelix, which actually, how close are we to getting to Steelix? Steelix. Okay, Onyx evolves into Steelix when traded while holding. Oh, so we can't. We can't do that. So we can't trade. Okay. Okay, so we can't get Steelix, but that's okay. That's okay. Water Girl, that's the final evolution. No evolution. Egg Boy, no evolution. Should be good. Ampharos, that's final evolution, I believe. Actually, I'm like 99% sure. 99. Evolves from Flappy. Okay, yeah. I was right. So yeah, basically, we just have to, you can stop his evolution each level up top. I really want Dragon to be Dragonite. So bad. But yeah, we'll take a look here. I think level 55, we should be good to go. So worst case, I will keep Burb there, just to figure out, wait, is this a computer? Oh, yes, okay, let's take a look. Move Pokemon. Let's see some of our Pokemon. So we do have Flappy, Gyarados, Sudowoood. Is that Rock? Did we have, which box was our good Pokemon? Oh, we also have a Growlithe, but that's level 13. Yeah, no. And with Ho-Oh, we don't need another fire type. So if we had one type that we need more of, what would it be? What would it be? Because we have... Okay, so Psychic, Poison, Fighting, Dark, Dragon. Psychic, Poison. Psychic is Bug. Poison. Psychic. Fighting is Psychic. And then we have... oh my god, after Fighting, 1, 2, 3... What is the next one? Oh, Dark. Okay, is Fighting and Bug. And then the last one is Dragon, which is Dragon, Ice, and Fairy. Let me see. Jinx is Ice and Psychic. Summary. Level 22. So Ice, that's Powder Snow. Ice Punch. I mean, we could honestly switch out... We could switch out Water Girl for Jinx. And then, okay, Gyarados is Water and Flying. Summary, what do you have here? What is... Dragon Rage? No. Ice, actually, okay, you know what? Yeah, that's possible because Salmon is not Dragon type. Okay. If we brought Salmon in, then we'd have Ice, so we wouldn't have to use Jinx. Another Psychic type would be nice, though. Okay, we don't need Vero. Yeah, we'll have to take a look at the types of moves that Jinx might have. But if we train up... Oh, Gyarados is already level 40. Yeah, let's definitely... We're gonna stay in this area, so if we move Gyarados instead of Water Girl. Move. There we go. So we'll train him up, exit. And that'll be for our dragon type. That'll also be ice. I like that, I like that. Let's return. I like that better, I like that better. Okay. So, exit out of this, back. Let's go Pokemon. I want to take the item from Dragon. XP share, we're gonna give that item. Give XP share. Salmon. Very high level you don't have to care about. Yeah, true, but I don't want to like spend that much time on it. Like, I want to spend my time, but not that much time. Okay, so we just have to like not go past any waterfalls, or can we just TP here? Where the fuck is my TP? Oh. Pokegear, let's look at our map. I think we can TP here. I think we can fly here. If we can, that'll be perfect. So Egg Boy. You can't use that here. Oh yeah, we're inside. Of course. So yeah, if we have Water Boy, that should even the team out. And honestly, Rocky is really not necessary. Okay, so I can fly right here. So it doesn't matter for the moves to get here, because I've already gone through Victory Road. Okay, I like this. Save. So we have a lot of fighting to do. A lot of fighting to do. Oh my goodness. It's gonna take so long. So long, guys. Oh my goodness. Ooh. Dragonite is flying around on here. Rusty? His ear twitched. That was it. He's asleep. And that is some lightly chilled coffee. It is a good thing that I actually enjoy iced coffee. That works. Let's take a look here. There we go. Wait, what is this? Switch that. I want to switch to a different playlist. What playlist do I want? Yeah, this is good. There we go. Okay. Rusty only wants food. He's actually not crazy about food. Like, baby, she loves food to the point that it's like she's had some like issues in her past and everything. But no, Rusty's kind of like, yeah, I could have some food. That's cool. Whatever. I'm like, oh, okay. But so we saved that, right? We saved it. Yeah, we did. Okay. Oh boy. I think we have time for a little bit of Marvel Rivals. I'm like, I am just exhausted. I have no clue why. No clue why. But we have all of that. We're looking at that. I'm gonna train off camera because I like to just watch something while doing it. But we will play a little bit of Marvel Rivals. So before I do that, whatever. It's fine. It's fine. Inside of me. But oh my god, I can't wait to actually finish that. I thought we were gonna finish Pokemon as well today, but that's fine. That is fine. We'll just, calm down with a little bit of Rivals, and then we'll probably head over to someone else's channel just because I'm so tired, y'all. And I didn't do any laundry yesterday, but I think I should do it tonight. Think so, Dragonite? I think so. I think so. Oh my goodness. Okay, so, Metal Launcher, thank you. Marvel Rivals, and we go here. Let's get our sound up. I still can't believe yesterday I saw, so in Discord, I was in the Marvel Rivals section of my Discord chat, and so I'm like, okay, yeah, when I tried to set it up for Discord so you guys could hear who was on there, I'm like, yeah, Marvel Rivals, that makes sense. I just doubled the Marvel Rivals sound, and I'm like, bro, why? We'll do that. Now let's also get our little thing up here. Yeah. Think we are good. Let's see. JSM's live. What else do we have here? Oh, it's his birthday! I gotta send him something. Let's see, who is online right now? Anyone? No one is online. Why does it say only have 20 friends? I have like 22 friends, I swear. I swear, guys. Okay, win a match, damage, spray, upvotes. For it was that take? Okay. So Magneto, Venom, or Penny Parker, Moon Knight, Iron Man, Magic, or Hawkeye. Cloak and Dagger, Adam Warlock, Jeff. Okay, these are easy ones. These are easy peasy. And how much do we need for the next level of the battle pass? I think it's like 700. I think it's a lot. Yeah, 700 more. That's gonna be a couple of days. What do these each give me? Oh! Okay, so 240 plus 36, 9. Okay, so 36. 360. So 2 days. 2 days. Should we just... Yeah, we're just gonna play a competitive game. To calm down, we're gonna play competitive. Yeah, that makes sense. I might have to... We're gonna give Dragonite his spot back. There we go. There we go. Okay. I want different music. Elder Scrolls, no. Mother. Let's just do Deadlock. Yeah, there we go. I think we are good. Perfect. Okay, there we go. I'm like, why was it so soft for me? But we're fine. What are we waiting for? Oh no, it's our team. Falafel guy, nope. I love that. Don't quit, falafel guy. Let's see what do we have. Muffin, domination. I want to play Invisible Woman. I have like fallen in love with Invisible Woman. I was playing her a lot more last night. Lindsay and I ended up playing a couple of games. She was just so fun to play. So fun. I do need to figure out how long her ult lasts. I can't really figure that out. And her basic attacks, I wish they went farther. I'm so used to Cloak and Dagger's distance that any other character that doesn't have that distance, it freaks me out.
It feels good to step outside my bubble every now and then.
It's like, what? Do I make it to that wall? I do make it to that wall. Do I make it over there? I do, okay. So it's pretty long, but it's not crazy long. Misery. Okay, I'm gonna turn... Oh, I can't turn my team up or down. Why is that? What? Why am I shielding the back? What? Oh, I guess just because of the barrier, but still, that's weird. It's in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Whee! I love being invisible. I can actually, like, you know, position myself without being instantly killed. It's wonderful. Are they portaling? Let's see. Oh, Penny. Penny! No! Okay, these Groot walls are so goddamn annoying. No, Squirrel Girl. No, in Plat 1, especially on this map, Squirrel Girl gets wasted because her ult just falls off the side of the map. And it's so annoying. Especially if you have your ult and stuff, you're ready to do it, and then all of a sudden it's like, yep, just fell off the side of the map, it's fine. But where are we going? Are we... Did I just miss every single heal?
Feeling fantastic.
No! No! No, 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 no! Rage!
No worries. I got your back. You're the best at what you do, Logan. I'm at maximum force. Running on you, friends.
Sweet misery. I think baby's meowing. I think she is meowing.
That's much better.
Okay, what do they have? Rocket and Luna. So they have Luna ult, most likely. No, come here, Wolverine! Oh, okay, you're fine.
Psionic burst.
Someone come back. I'm not moving. I'm not moving. Come back. Fall back.
Disappear. Vortex field. Clear the way. Disappear. A little help, please.
Okay, that was a wasted ult. That was such a wasted ult.
Force burst. Let me guess.
Yeah, I should have waited. I should have waited. No!
By the eye of Arkham
No, I was invisible. I was invisible. I swear to God.
I'm ready to put on a show. Vortex field. Clear the way.
No! Yeah, I wasted that ult so badly, so badly. I'm still learning with this ult. Is it doesn't charge as fast as Cloak and Daggers. I'm used to just using Cloak and Dagger ult and being like, I'll be right back. My next hunting trip, that would be this October. I'm going early October this time instead of late October. Because I want more birds. Oh, ouchies, ouchies, ouchies. We are undefeatable? Ouch! Oh my god, I just got back! I just got back on site. Oh my god, they almost aced.
I won't disappear so easily. We need to strengthen my field.
Come on, no, Penny, do not die! Do not die!
I feel like myself again.
Feel the pull. That's much better. Clear the way. They got behind you.
Okay, almost.
I got you covered.
I got you! I got you! Ooh, I got one.
A little help, please.
Ooh, I got another. Okay, I like this. I like this. Take baby with. Oh my god, no. Baby would not like it. Baby would like really hate it. Oh, I should have waited. Okay, there we go, there we go. Wait, is he back here? Wait, feel the pull! Feel the pull, bitches! I'm actually thinking about taking Rusty with me, just because, last time I actually came home early because I missed him so much. I figure if I go up there for a bit longer, I can take, like, the mornings to hunt, and then the afternoons, for the most part, I'll be with Rusty. So we'll just do a late lunch, and I mean, anyway, you get more birds in the morning and stuff. You don't get as many, when it's, like, the height of the sun and stuff. So if we just do it like that, I can spend time with Rusty and spend time hunting, and while we're gone, he just has a run of the place, and he'll probably chase some mice. Last time, he scared off a bunch of mice, and I was, like, so proud. They tried to come into my room, he was like, no, I'm the only animal in this place. I'm the only animal here. I was so proud of him. Baby, yeah, last night she tried to kill a bug, and I was like, aw, so cute. She just like was sitting, staring at it as it was on its back, going, ah. I'm like, aw. She won that fight. Oh, oh! Let me heal you, let me heal you! I'm trying to heal you! Holy fuck! Ah, I can't get over there. Ah. No, I'm gonna die here. Yeah, I'm like, whoops. Whoopsies. Yeah, using his ult immediately, that did not work out well. This is like such a hard site to retake. It's like, once you take it, it's okay, but to retake, oh my god, it sucks.
Let me guess. Your Namor's friends?
Come on, oh my god.
That's much better.
No! 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 Oh my god. Yeah, I don't think this is gonna be a possibility.
Their team's capture progress has passed the halfway point. I won't disappear so easily.
Guys, let's all... Okay, so we can use Cloak and Dagger ult to get on site. Here we go. Or just, you know, right here, I guess. Follow the snail trail!
That's much better.
I'm ready to put on a show!
Come on, get on site, get on site! Someone get on site! Oh my god. Oh my god, I got us on site, but no one was there with me.
996,997,997.
Okay, we got one. Waffle guy got one. Oh, we got two, we got two. Our mutant kind! Oh, we're not winning this. We are definitely not winning this. Why would you use your ult for that? Why would you use your ult for that? I only have 11,000 healing? Damn. So what month is it? It's February. So we have April is Mexico.
Answer the call.
Honestly, like 6,000 damage for Invisible One. I'm like, that's okay. That's okay.
30 seconds before
Wolverine, stop jumping onto site without us. We have 2 dives. We have 3 dives now, bro. Yeah, we have way too many dives. Way too many dives. Thank you so much for the follow. Okay, that I guess is a projectile. Yeah, okay, this works.
4, 3, 2, 1. All you need to do is capture the mission area.
Mission area unlocks. Okay, I don't like this one either. I do not like this group of domination maps. Leave! Leave! Get away from me! Okay, I have a shield, bro. Okay. Venom's just gonna have to live his life. Venom's just gonna have to live his life, bro. Yeah, and he moves too fast. Yeah, he moves too fast for me to do anything. I'm like, bro. I am not married. I am asexual and aromantic. So I'm like, most I would ever do is like a queer platonic relationship or something. But I'm like, nope. I have my cats. My god, there we go. Who needs anyone except for the cats? Okay, this was not our best choice here.
All eyes over here. All eyes over here.
Come on, save him! Yes, okay, it saved him.
We are undefeatable.
No, I'm gonna die here. Oh, I survived. Okay.
I am ready to put on a show.
Oh, I survived. I survived that shit. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh yeah, no, I don't need a hard carry. I am the carry most of the time. Depends on the day. Get behind my stupid ass shield! They keep moving away from my shield. I'm like, bro, why do you think I have a shield? To shield people. To shield people. Okay, there we go. It's fine, it's fine.
I need a bit more
Almost
power.
having cloak and dagger. Okay, they just used mantis and... Okay, so they're basically gonna be right before us. You can take advantage of me. Come on, get behind the stupid ass shield that's gonna save your life. Monsters.
Psionic burst. Force burst.
No! Come back, come back, come back! Oh my god! Thank you, shield! There we go. Yeah, okay, how did they die inside my thingy? My thingamabobber. Oh, come on, get to it, get to it! Yes! Uh-oh. Uh-oh. We're fine, everything's fine, everything's coolios. Everything's coolios, brosif! Okay, that's fine, he didn't go behind my shield on that one. I accept that. Oh, I killed him? Really? 3, 2, 1. No! Oh my god, no, 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 no. No, 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 get me out of here, get me out of here. Oh, fuck. Now, I'm just a variety at this point. Much variety.
It's clear I'm still needed here. Keep fighting and
Should not have 12 deaths. Bro, he moves in the weirdest way. Plus, when he was, no, not Black Panther, Wolverine, he would just jump onto sight in a 1v6. And we're like, the fuck? Oh, no! I won't be here, I won't be here. I won't be here. My main game, I don't know what my main game would be. I don't know what my main game would be. It's like, I used to play a shit ton of Valorant, but then I got angry at Valorant. So this will be my main game until I get angry at this game. Although, I am pretty angry at this game anyway. I'm still playing it, so that's a good thing. 99, come on. One more person. No, no! Oh my god. No! He went out. Oh my god. He pushed me out of his ult. That was a good play. That was a really good play. That was such a good play. What if I can deal with monsters? I'm running as fast as I can. Oh, we're not gonna win this. No, we don't have enough ults. Okay, we got one of the healers.
By the eye of Agamotto.
Shield! And I'm alone on site. I'm alone on site. Yeah, no. No, we're not gonna win this one. We're not gonna win this one. That's okay, though. That's okay. Okay, but you know what? I'm definitely liking Invisible Woman. I don't get the amount of healing that I get on Cloak and Dagger or even Luna. Interesting. Do we have any coffee? Yes, we do.
996
Ah, there we go.
997,991
GG. Is this what?
just redeemed hydrate.
Meh. Why would they say that? I don't like that falafel guy anymore. He was fun in the beginning, but now he's not fun. Now he's not fun! Ooh, what did I get? Was that take the damage? I think it was. Oh, 2 sprays and 2 F-boats. Forgot about that one. Oops. Whoopsies. I'm glad they're not gonna reset the ranks though, at least. very, very glad. Oh my goodness. Hi, Rusty. Oh, he's awake. I just really want to get back to Diamond, because then I can, you know, actually stop people and ban characters like Storm and, you know, like Wolverine, so I don't get taken away by them. I don't get kidnapped. I want to ban Bucky, because why not?
The right heroes can make all the difference.
So let's see, we'll fill. Because we're on this side. Okay, we're not gonna go heals.
Peanuts and Kid
Statue of Bast. Okay, this is okay for Squirrel Girl. I'll see if anyone else wants to play DPS. Okay, Magneto. Okay, yeah, this works. This works, and no one can say that I took DPS from them because I waited until everyone else was locked in. We have 2 Lord healers. That's usually a good sign.
Round 1. This is Tippy Toe, and she has the powers of just a regular squirrel.
God, I love my Dorian Green. Love my Squirrel Girl.
Stay strong.
I personally don't. I don't like physical contact of any type. I'm like, I will hug my parents, and that's basically it. I'm like, that's the most that I will like allow people to like, yeah. That's why I just like my cats. Of course, them I cuddle, but yeah, I'm like, humans, meh.
2,
Nah.
1.
Not it, money or
Stop them
love.
from securing the mission area.
Do we have an Iron Man? Oh no. Hey, they have a Wanda. Oh, okay. Come on, heals, thank you. Oh, I should not be here, fuck that. I can get... What? Okay, I got one though. For Bill. No heals, cool. What? What? Yeah, I mean, I got healed a little bit. Tiny bit. I'm just following this dude. I can never remember the quickest way to get here. I always just kind of like run around and hope for the best. Come on, okay. Ooh, okay, that Wanda hurts. Okay, we're gonna have to give them this because we just don't have any healers here. Come on. Am I the only one here? Oh, I need heals, thank you. I can get in that room. Oh, fuck no, it bounced. Okay, it still worked-ish. No, it didn't. Did it? No squirrels! No, okay. Oof. Come on, she's 1! She is 1! So many of them are so low. They're just constantly low as balls, and it's like, bro. Thank you, Magneto. That Magneto just like saved my life 100 times over.
I appreciate you.
Come on, she's low. I'm so tense right now. No, get away! Whew, okay. Hee-hee! Tee-hee!
I am ready to
Put on a show! Oh, ho, ho, okay. That was not the healer that was healing, but you know, that's fine. That works, yo. I can't believe I now unironically say yo. I never thought that'd be part of my life. I just missed every single one of my hits. No! No, she got Luna! Ouch. Ouchies. Okay, I know we should just give up sight at this point, yeah. Venom's the only one on site, and he's still staying there. Bro, run for your life! Run for your life! Self-preservation at its finest! Yes! Come on, get Luna! She's 1! There we go. Perfect! Massacre. It's gonna be a massacre.
These waves will not break.
Aw, the kitty cat. Okay, focus. Focus. Oh, that's why. Like, why am I getting injured? Oh my. There. I'm like, ooh, I get so quiet when I'm doing this. I'm like, I'm locked in. Ish. Not very much, but a little bit. Ooh, he's low! Why am I frontline? I'm not a frontliner. I'm a backline fixer. I keep going frontline. Even when I'm healing, I'm like, yeah, frontline.
I am ready to
Just turn my back to everyone, and I'm like, yeah, time to heal. Oh, fuck me! Oh, nice. Huge, huge, huge. Huge. Huge! Ace! Bitch! Haha! Love this. Gonna be a massacre. And we still have Luna. Okay, they have 3 healers now. Okay, so I have ult. Wow, missed every single one. They have a Hawkeye now? Ugh. Ooh, they have a Wolverine and a Hawkeye now? Assholes. Ooh, nice, okay. Uh-oh, I'm gonna die here. Yeah, I'm still gonna die there. That's okay. I got another one though. I got one of their healers. I'm like, yeah.
I'm not done with this fight yet.
Maybe I am just in my DPS phase. Maybe I am. Maybe just certain games, like on these games, on what was it? The whatchamacallit? Convergence ones? Not the domination ones. I like these. Uh-oh. Oh, it's Magneto. It's Magneto. Oh fuck. Oh fuck, it hurts. It hurts. It hurts. It hurts so bad. Oof. I'm gonna die here. That's okay though. I'm alive? Stay very still. Oh. Okay, they are so low. No. Jump. Oh, my life was saved. I don't know how. Squirrel stab! Yay! Come on, where'd my squirrels go? There they went. Come on! So much damage! Do we have... Okay. Don't have a... Ouch! Oh, ouchies. Heals, please. I will actually stay behind the shield because I know what it's like. I'm just holding down my attack button. Maybe I shouldn't do that. I'm just like continuously holding it down. Maybe I should actually be like, you know, waiting to try and aim and shit.
Time to switch things up.
Instead I'm just like, boop. Just like the W key, just hold forward, it's fine.
Eat nuts and
It's definitely staying squirrel girl.
you'll need a top-notch
I'm the ace. See, even so, if we win this and if we get like 3 more aces or something like that, I'll still only get like about 23. When we got, what was it yesterday that we got? It was about 4 or 5 in one game aces. Each of us got, I think. And we're from like 20 to 27 at most. Like, bro, we destroyed them. I don't understand. The game is just like, nah. Nah. I did not buy my account, BTW. Huh?
Just a regular.
And? Bum, 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 bum. Did I miss like something in the chat? I feel like I did.
30 seconds before you attack. Get ready.
Bum. I'm sneaking to the back line. Were they? Oh, no more. Okay. Throw my squids down. Same.
Richards.
They're all gonna leave us? They're all gonna go to the back line? Bro. Don't leave me. I'm gonna penetrate their defenses with my tentacles.
Wow. Are your motivations?
I fucking love this dude.
The battle starts
Honestly,
in 5,
same.
4, 3, 2.
Oh, this is a good team. This is a good team.
All you need to do is capture the mission area. Got it?
When tentacles get brought into the mix. There we go. I got. Did I get the squid? We're gonna say I did. Ooh, ouchies!
Time to go nuts. Schoolgirl versus Squid Kids. Let's do this.
Oh, come on! Oh, Luna is so low. Oh, she was so low. Probably not anymore. Ah! Run, jump, scared! Run, jump, scared. Perfect. Okay, we almost have we almost have both of our...
Not done with
Are
this.
they using a controller? I thought it was against using controllers now. I keep seeing this, and I keep thinking that these people are going to be recorded or whatever, but they never are. Charge straight towards them! Hold W! Okay, are there people at the choke point? Secret's gone. And squirrels!
I'm ready to put on a show.
Oh, they wasted 2 of their ults. Oh my god, I forced those 2 ults. Yes, I love this. I need heals! Please! Please! No! Don't hurt me! Don't hurt me! Oh my god, we survived. Did we really though? Are we just like fake alive? Oh, that's ours. Oh. Come on. Come on! I want this kill! Why can't I get this kill? There we go. Okay, I got it. I can leave now. Oh, I hurt. We're hurting for certain.
I was hurting for certain.
Ah, who did the voice line? Portal.
Don't get that vehicle to a
Stop
destination.
together.
Get 'em, squirrels! Oh, now that's
Let's dive.
that hurts. What am I? Invisible?
Oh, she's low. Both low. That works. That works.
I appreciate you.
Oh, no. Survive, sir. Please survive. Almost have my ultimate. Still have invisible one ultimate. Oh, they have a Hella?
By the eye of Agamotto!
Oh, she sees me. Fuck me. They saw me.
Time to go nuts.
Wait, my squirrels. I want my squirrels. My squirrels.
2, 1.
The tide always rises. Bro, my squirrels won that.
Another epic.
There we go. That was beautiful. That's a GG. Oh, I didn't use the sprays. Whoops. Sorry we were so bad at healing. Three really held us back for real. What? Dive. Yeah, only 29. Okay, that's kind of fair, I guess, but still. Apologize for saying I bought my account. What? I thought they were saying that they bought their account. I missed a lot going on in chat, apparently. I missed a lot going on. So much. Okay, we got that. Look at that. Okay, 52. We're making our way back to Diamond 3. We're making our way back. I mean, yesterday we were almost down to Plat 3. I was like, holy shit, we've not been this low for a long time. Okay, 2 sprays. Love that. So Moon Knight. Yeah, so when I practice, I'll go as Moon Knight, we'll do Magneto. I really do want to try and play as Magneto. If I can get good at him, he could be my second tank. Because I can only play Penny Parker as tank. I tried playing Venom I'm okay with, but it still makes my head hurt when he goes all around and spins and stuff. But yeah, I tried playing Thor just in a quick match. Oh my god, I think I'm the worst Thor player in existence. I'm just like, I do not get this character. For some reason, it just did not work in my mind. And then Cloak and Dagger, Adam Warlock, Jeff, and Rocket. I want to start practicing Rocket. Yeah. Because if they start banning Cloak and Dagger and Invisible Woman in Diamond, I want to be able to have a third. I mean, I play Luna and kind of Mantis, but I want to have another one ready just in case they want that team up. Yeah. And Adam Warlock, Rocket's much better in this situation. Yeah, we can do that. Yeah, I like that. We have our game plan. That also means I think we're gonna end this on a win here. Cause I'm starving and also I'm tired and it's snowing, so I'm gonna have a nice productive evening, I believe. Hopefully we're gonna actually do some laundry and shit. Let's see. Or 1 second, let me just reply. God, there we go. That's good. Yeah, we can do that later. Okay, that works. We are going to end stream here. I know we haven't been doing very long streams recently. We've been doing shorter streams, but I just got a lot of stuff to do. We gotta figure out what's going on. And now apparently I have to go get a chest x-ray because apparently having fevers and cold symptoms for months and months on end are not good. Who would have thought? Who would have thought? Not me. But yeah, so I'll have a bunch of stuff coming up with some tests and all that. So we'll have to figure that stuff out and work around my streaming schedule, but hopefully it'll all work out. And if not, then whoops. Who are we gonna go and raid though tonight? Let's see who is on. I want to go. Ooh, we'll go say hi to Lovely. We'll go say hi. They're playing Valorant right now. No face cam. Oh, we still gotta play Valorant with them sometime. Run away now. Let's see, there we go. So we'll start raid. Thank you guys so much for all the new followers, for all the great chats and everything. Always enjoy it. We are going to be back tomorrow evening, Sunday night, for maybe the finale of Silent Hill 2. Probably not. Probably we'll get like very close to the finale and then we'll have to leave. But yeah, we're going to be playing Silent Hill 2 tomorrow. And I think we're doing pretty well. I think we're doing pretty well in the Labyrinth. So yeah, I hope you guys have a great rest of your evening. Go rest, go get some food, some water, go pet the cats or the dogs if you have them, or the birds.